United Nations ambassador accused Ukraine and the West of a false flag attempt to blame Russian troops for atrocities in the town of Bucha on the outskirts of the capital, KYIV. He accused Ukrainian nationalists and called the video of bodies lying in the streets, quote, a crude forgery. Ukraine Nebenzia charged that any atrocities were committed by Ukrainian nationalists and insisted that during the time that Bucha was under Russian control, not a single local person has suffered from any violent action. At a news conference, the Russian ambassador showed brief video footage of the smiling mayor of Bucha on March 31st, calling the withdrawal of Russian forces a victory of the Ukrainian army. He also showed footage from Ukrainian television on April 2nd, showing Ukrainian soldiers entering Bucha with no dead bodies in the streets.
The video circulated by the Kyiv regime is a crude forgery. It doesn't stand any scrutiny. However, some Western leaders, for example, German Federal Chancellor Olaf Scholz, French President Emmanuel Macron, and of course British Foreign Minister Liz Truss, have already lined up to promote this false narrative. What happened in Bucha is exactly a false flag attack by the Kyiv regime and its Western sponsors. The possible goal of this provocation is horrifying and brings back the nightmares of the Nazi crimes during the Second World War. Vladimir Zelensky, once he arrived in Bucha, hinted that this incident justifies any uncivilized response. By this, basically, he confirmed that the Kyiv regime considers genocide as a method of warfare. Now the nationalists have a pretext to commit a real massacre of innocent Ukrainian people, executing them as traitors. We want the world to stay alert, and we call on the Council not to let this horrific cleansing.
Hundreds of displaced Ukrainians were on Monday continuing attempts to flee to the west from the east of the country, packing onto crowded trains and waiting in traffic on gridlocked highways. In Kramatorsk, hundreds attempted to board what few trains left that day. Military checkpoints are said to be overwhelmed. Report from UK broadcaster Sky shows images the organization claimed showed 3 kilometers of traffic on the way into Kramatorsk in the Donetsk region. Volunteers have been working in attempts to marshal the chaos at the train stations. The Ukrainians are fleeing as Russian forces are making advances on the region. They've been advised to leave by the region's governor, who fears civilians staying in the area would hinder military operations.